Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that we're about to talk about is something that I've seen nowhere else. No 2A channels, no political channels for that matter. Something has occurred. We have reached a tipping point now where the media can't get rid of Biden. And if they can't get rid of Biden, they have done something to themselves because they are pot committed. Now, understand, in all of this, the benefactor is our gun rights. What are we always focusing on this channel? Passing the generational blessings on to the next generation? Yeah. What we're about to cover is massive and no one is talking about it. Everything is linked in the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on if you want to spread this freedom to the next generation and really stick it to the YouTube algorithm, which keeps unsubscribing you on the daily. And with that said, beautiful people, this is something that you have to understand the broader picture on. The media is doing something that we've never seen them do before. Literally in my lifetime to a Democrat frontrunner, or at least a nominee or sitting president. They have completely turned their backs on him. But not just turned their backs on him, and I've got some clips here in a second, but we're talking about a full-on commitment to getting rid of Biden from CNN, from the media, from the left. And the media is completely allied with the left. It's not like all of a sudden CNN woke up and said, I'm going to be conservative today. What's happening is they think they're going to lose more power if Trump gets elected, so they're trying to get Biden out because they don't believe he's going to win. That's boiling down exactly what it is. However, understand where we're at, and then I'm about to get to these clips to reinforce this point. The media, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, they all cannot go back on what they've said so far for Biden because they've gone so full tilt. They are so full against Biden that if Biden does manage to maintain and still be the nominee going into the election with Trump, they just lost one of their main allies, which carry their water and carry them over the finish line forever, the media. Understand that if Biden holds out, again, I'm going to reiterate this point, the media will never be able to tell you Biden's the best candidate because they spent a week and a half destroying him after the debate. They've played their hand. They did not expect Biden to uphold to this pressure. Now, let me show you a few more of these questions that just came out a couple hours ago on CNN from an interview with a Democratic representative, and it's going to reiterate this point. Check this out. Again, you're not going to see this anywhere else. Check this out.
Democratic Congressman Jerry Connolly of Virginia. Congress, first of all, I just want to get your reaction to the latest development. I was just talking about with Arlette that these questions were provided to these radio hosts beforehand for the president to interview. What do you think about that?
Well, it's not my practice, but it's, not unheard of. And I would say, we're kind of piling on right now. I mean, look at the sycophancy of Fox News with Trump and his acolytes. You think they don't practice the questions and go over the questions before an interview in depth? So I wouldn't have done this if I were the Biden campaign, but I sure wouldn't allow this to be overblown, especially when we're looking at that alternate network, Fox, which has become nothing but an intimate part of the Trump campaign.
But for the context, the context does matter. And in this case, these are the first pairs of interviews after the concerted debate to try to prove to, the concerned voters that there's nothing to see here, there's no issue. And now we're finding out the questions were provided in advance.
Okay. Let's just set up camp on that for a second. She just openly said, yeah, he had the questions in the interview that was supposed to save his political candidacy. Awkward. What do you think about that? Then when the Democrat rep gives the answer that's obligatory and does a lot of comparison and a lot of other stupid stuff, she comes back and goes, yeah, but the context is pretty important because he flubbed up so bad in the debate. We really needed that, and then they do this. Understand, their fate is now tied to Biden's. If Biden survives, the media cannot do what the media is built to do, push the Democrat narrative, which is against our gun rights. If Biden falls, they can swoop in and go, ooh, Kamala Harris, ooh, Pete Buttigieg, ooh, Newsom, ooh, Harris, and they can go right back. The linchpin here is Biden. If Biden stays in, there's not only going to be no media to carry the water for them, because they've already thrown one under the bus, there's going to be no support in the Democrat caucuses because they're all questioning it. They've divided and fractured. And then you're going to see down ballot destruction, which is going to set us up for an advantage for gun rights to be pushed forward, unlike we've seen in our lifetimes. The fate of Biden and the media are intertwined. Okay, I got two more things for you. Guys, you have to see this for what it is, and bigger than Biden can't function. The media has put themselves in a bind, and the Democrats are going to suffer in either direction. Again, the gun controllers live in the Democrats.
But it sounds like you're still haven't made up your mind yet, right? Is that fair to say? You're not calling on the president to step aside, but you still have not made up your mind about what the situation is, where things are.
Pam, I was hired by Joe Biden to work in the U.S. Senate. I've known him for 45 years. I know his family. I've been to his home. I wrote speeches for him and bills for him and amendments for him. I travel with him. This is a man I revere, and I am not about to throw him overboard because of a bad experience. I want to give him every opportunity to try to recover. Having said that, at the end of the day, we cannot afford to make a mistake about Donald Trump. We've got to put our best foot forward. And I'm hopeful that's Joe Biden. I'm open to the fact that, sadly, that might not be. I do believe that what happened at the debate was more than a bad night. And that's why that image is so indelible in so many minds.
I am open that he might not be the best candidate to beat Trump. I don't think that it was only a one-night performance. This is in midday CNN. There have been now a week and a half of them obliterating Biden because they see their fate tied to it, because now it is. The things that we are about to see in the next 3.5 months are going to blow your mind. I mean, whether you have a new candidate or you have the existing candidate, either way, the media has lost credibility, the little shred that they had left, all around this. Even the Democratic rep who's known Biden his whole life and been his bestie, and they shared, bread together or whatever. Even he's like, yeah, probably not, but we'll see what happens. This is on CNN. All right, one more thing to land my point, because this last question that she asks, again, this does not happen on mainline media against Democrats 3 months out from an election. Check this out.
Last question for you. Given what you just said, that all the people calling him to drop out is just going to put his back up, some have said today after that interview especially that he's in denial and he is just being defiant because he does not want to be pushed out. Do you think he is clearly seeing what is transpiring right now and what the stakes are? Do you think he is being honest with himself?
Certainly, President Biden is very aware of the stakes. He's in a kind of defensive posture right now, understandably. The whole world kind of descended on him after that debate. And this is a proud man with an extraordinary record and a personal history of always exceeding expectations. He's had to overcome all kinds of hurdles and impediments and tragedies in his life to get where he is. He's not about to be pushed off the stage because some people are disgruntled or feel that he's in denial. Having said that, we need a White House to help bridge the denial and the early defensiveness.
Defensive posture, denial, early defensiveness. CNN openly saying, does he even understand what he's about to do to the Democratic brand, to the media, and to everybody? Because, Satan himself's about to be elected because of his actions and the White House's actions. Guys, I'm telling you, I study these people for a living. They are tripling, quadrupling. They are going so far in the pot because they have put their bed. They put their money on a horse, and it's not Biden. And if it's not Biden, then they have a prayer to recover. If it is Biden, the media can do nothing to even help the Democrats down ballot. What does that translate to? That translates to more positions, more House margin. That translates to more Senate spots and a White House. You go from having maybe one or two of them to having all three by a gigantic margin because the media has picked their bed. They've picked their horse, and it ain't Biden. And if Biden gets his hackles up and gets his back all hard and stiff like the guy just mentioned, he's not going anywhere. Oh, they've got a problem. And we are here to benefit. Everything that I just showed you is linked right down in the description box. Let me know if I landed that plane, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.